Hey guys, welcome back to Don's Little Hobbies, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my general thoughts on Wreck-It Ralph. So, I was actually going to eventually do a review for this movie, but you know what? Instead of titling it review, I kind of come to the realization that while this will serve as a review, I'm really just going to give my thoughts about the movie, and my thoughts about other stuff that I want to talk about that concerns this movie and stuff like that. So we're going to get into all that. By the way, if you notice my lips are super red, guess what? It is not makeup. I just noticed they were super red as I turned on the camera. Guess what? I had a red popsicle stick and I didn't think that I was going to make my lips totally red, but it totally did. So, I didn't want you guys thinking that I put makeup on. I swear I didn't. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video. So, first off, I want to talk about why I didn't go to the movie theaters for this. So, the fact is, I can generally only make 2 to 3 trips to a movie theaters a year. And guess what? This year, I have no joke, 7 films I want to go see, and I've already seen 3. I have 4 other films that I want to go see in the theaters. And like, I swear, most of them are from Disney, so I'm just, like, dumping my wallet in Disney's pockets right now. And I just can't make every single movie I want to see. So, a lot of the times, a lot of movies that piques my interest, I put on the back burner. Movies that I'm dying to see, especially, like, big movies, like big Marvel movies, or how about big Star Wars movies? Yeah, big movies like that. I will, of course, put in my dying to see list movies that I have to go to theaters for, and I have so many movies that I want to go to theaters for this year. It's just crazy. But Wreck-It Ralph, you know what? There was no way I could put that on my list, and it did pique my interest, but the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, I saw it, and here's the thing, when I was little, when I was a kid, I was able to watch, like, a movie about 10 times, you know? Now that I am an adult, I have responsibilities and stuff like that. Life gets in the way. I mean, I got family, I got my fish, I got work, and stuff just gets in the way to where I'm lucky if I get to see a movie I want to see once. In fact, that's why I saw this movie. I only saw it once. Today is actually when I saw it. The day that I am making this video is the day I saw it. I just got done watching it about an hour ago. Okay? Just to give you a little heads up there. And, yeah, I just find it hard to make time. I even have it hard to make time when it comes to watching Netflix or something like that. Like my other shows, my other animes, I have trouble finding time for that stuff because I'm always hanging out with my family and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So, the fact is, there was no way I could make time to go see this in the theaters, and I did want to watch it. The first movie, I liked it enough to watch it like 5 or 6 times, but I don't think it was a masterpiece. And the movie that I did think was a masterpiece was Incredibles. I loved the first Incredibles, and Incredibles 2 came out just before Wreck-It Ralph, and I can tell you what, Incredibles 2 was not that bad of a movie, but it was basically a gender swap of the first movie. It wasn't as creative as I thought it was going to be, and it's just interesting. So, the movie that I was hoping, the movie that I was expecting to see make a major story to, ended up really laying me down, and the movie that I thought was going to be a letdown, Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet, ended up being the far better movie. That's kind of interesting. And I just wanted to state that I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph 2, or Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was a really fun movie. and I just really enjoyed myself watching it. Now, the thing is, something that I really have to geek over is, so I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I already knew about the Stormtroopers and the Falcons and the X-Wing and TIE Fighter and stuff like that, but I saw C-3PO, and you should have saw my face when I saw C-3PO. I was not expecting to see C-3PO in this movie, and when he came on screen, I was like, it's C-3PO! I was silent for 5 minutes after I saw C-3PO. I'm not kidding. That was a really cool surprise. And then there was R2-D2. Something that I really liked about this movie is how they showcase the internet. Like, that is actually the biggest problem that this movie had to overcome. And I think they did it in a clever and interesting way. They could have showcased more, but then it would have gotten away in front of the story, and I'm glad that they kept their focus on the story. But what they showcased was, I think, was a very good representation of what the internet is. Which, that is hard. That is hard to find a true, good representation of what the internet is. I mean, I thought we were going to have the same issue that we had in the Emoji Movie, and I'm very happy to say that we didn't have the same issue in the Emoji Movie that we had here. I'm very, very happy about that. Now, talking about the movie itself, you know, first off, the princesses, whenever the Disney princesses showed up on screen, I swear, I laughed every second they were on screen in the movie. And I even had the biggest laugh out of me was, of course, at the end when they were saving Wreck-It Ralph. I'm not gonna spoil it, but let me tell you, I was cracking up when I saw that. That had the biggest laugh out of me. Now, the story itself, you know, I really did enjoy it. The animation is amazing, the music's great, and the laughs, the comedy is great in this movie. But the story itself, I found it kind of bland. At the same time, comparing it to what came out of the Incredibles 2 movie, I find it 10 times better than Incredibles 2 movie. And I still found the story bland. So that just shows how much I really disliked Incredibles 2, huh? So what is the story of Wreck-It Ralph? So this is kind of interesting. So the fact is, I liked the first movie enough to see a couple times, and I liked it enough to maybe watch a show out of it. Like, if they made a Wreck-It Ralph show, I would love it. I would love to watch a Wreck-It Ralph TV show. Because I just really liked the characters. I mean, that's the thing about the first movie that they did very well, is making these believable, interesting, and complex characters. I really, really enjoyed that aspect of the first movie, and I always figured if they did a TV show, we would just focus on, for most of it at least, we would just focus on Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope. And at the start of this movie, that's why I feel like this whole movie is just the show. Like, if there was a cartoon, a Wreck-It Ralph cartoon, yeah, this is what I would have expected. The story was perfect in that aspect of what I was expecting. So, here's the story. It's actually a continuation of the first movie, and that's something that I really like. In Incredibles 2, they did not do really a good continuation of the story, but this one does. So what happens is the basic of the story. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the basic story is Wreck-It Ralph goes to work during the day, and that night he gets to hang out with Vanellope and go through the entire arcade. But unfortunately, Vanellope has been through the entire arcade, and she is just getting bored. she doesn't want to see the exact same thing over and over again like Wreck-It Ralph. Instead, she's looking for something new and unexpected. During this, they hook up Wi-Fi, aka the internet, and that's where the true story starts. So what happens is during a case of where Vanellope is trying to, play her normal daily game, Wreck-It Ralph tries to create a new map, a new track to try to cheer her up because he knows how she was feeling down. He truly does feel for her, and he truly wants her to be his only friend. Now, the one thing about Wreck-It Ralph that I found in this movie was I found him a little too clingy, but it works in terms of the storyline. At the same time, I found that how the quote-unquote villain, the quote-unquote bad part of this movie happens is all to do with Ralph's fault. I just found like Ralph, I feel like I'm not really on Ralph's side in the movie. I'm really like against Ralph during most of the movie, and I feel like if he was just a little less clingy, then I think the movie would have been better, but maybe it wouldn't have helped out the story. Like, I can see it from that aspect. So, as much as I didn't like his clinginess, I think it serves the story, at least. And that's the most important thing to me, is always the story. So what happens is he makes that track to try to cheer her up. She goes on it during the daily game, and someone is trying to get her back on track, and she doesn't want to, so the person who is playing the game pulls on the real wheel too hard and breaks the wheel. Of course, the guy in charge of the arcade tries to put it back, but only ends up breaking it more. Without the wheel, we can no longer play Sugar Rush. We have to unplug it, which leaves, of course, Vanellope homeless. The idea is to go to the internet and find a new wheel, a new part for the game. That's the whole story. And then they go on this grand adventure to, Disneyland and eBay, and the jokes in this movie I really just enjoyed, but the whole real story of the movie basically is that Wreck-It Ralph needs to learn to let Vanellope Von Sweets. He needs to learn to let her be her, have a dream, and let her be. And something that I really, really liked at the ending of this movie is not only does he do that, but they could have easily had Vanellope turn around and go along with Wreck-It Ralph. What I really liked about this movie is they did not do that. She stays in her dream. She stays in that new game, in her dream, in that new racing game that they have.
Suddenly surfaced right after the Star Cluster Council.
She stays in her new game, which I really, really like that aspect of it. I really like the fact that she didn't just go back with Ralph. Like, I thought at the very end of it that she was going to come back downstairs, and I thought it was really, really nice that she didn't do that. As for the rest of the movie, you know what? It was a really good movie. I don't really have much to talk about in terms of the rest of the movie. That's all of my favorite parts. That's all of what I disliked and what I did like. So, yeah, that would actually be my review of Wreck-It Ralph. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts about Wreck-It Ralph? Did you enjoy this movie? Did you watch this movie? Are you wanting to watch this movie after you watch this video? Let me know down in the comments below. I really, really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph, even though I thought the story was a little bland. However, compared to Incredibles 2, far, far better. Which is Big disappointment because I wanted the Groundable suit to be cool. Oh well. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye. One more thing to mention. I saw Nick Wilde from one of my favorite Disney movies would actually be Zootopia, so when I saw Nick Wilde, I went wild for that. And then I saw C-3PO! Oh my god, that was cool! That was cool.